Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. I am your host, Rick Smith. This is the place you learn tips, tricks, and strategies to help run your and service your IT business. Whether you're a one person shop or leading a team for the journey, this is the place for you. My co host, who's normally here, Mr. Paco Lebron, he's out today. He's in Denver at the one of the channel conferences. I apologize, I can't remember which one. But we will see Paco. He will be back with us on Thursday, so we should be able to, we'll be in touch with him then. He'll give us an update on what's been going on and where we are, and we look forward to hearing from him. Uh, Today's show is going to be kind of short. We wanted to make sure we service the community and talked about what's going on here with Tech Talk Tuesday. What's going on with TechCon Unplugged, which is right now a month away. So anyone who's does not have your tickets, I suggest you go out and get your tickets. We are looking forward to a very good show, and I do hope to see you all there. Just a quick recap. I am not going to give that same old, spiel that I've been giving for months now, but we will, be September 16th to the 18th at the Chicago Hilton Rosemont Hotel. Hopefully, again, you've gotten your tickets by now, and you are ready to join us there. We have confirmed all of our vendors. I'm going to run down a quick list of them: Gradient, Acronis, Huntress, Galactic Advisors, ThreatLocker, Darkcube, Datto, Zorus, Synchro, MagnusBox, Synology, and Verisoft. And just confirmed today, we also are going to have Augment there. So we're looking forward to a good show. Most of the members, or a lot of the members you're familiar with in the community, will be at the show, and they will be taking on some responsibility of giving some presentations, participating in some panels, doing some of the breakout sessions that we have. Again, as you know, our theme with TechCon, is the communication and what we give to the community is for the community. So we want most of the work to be done by the community. That's why a lot of our peers will be leading these discussions, giving input, helping us to what the goal is of TechCon, what the goal is of MSP Unplugged, helping us to learn how to grow and maximize our business. So with that, again, I hope for those of you who are listening, I hope you got your tickets. I hope to see you there. We're looking forward to a great show, and I am extremely excited about it. So, I hope to see you all there. And with that, we're going to leave enough about that. I am going to do a quick show on a couple of things that's been going on. And really, Tech Talk Tuesday is really about the tech side of things. So I'm going to talk about a few things that's been going on in my business, a few challenges I've been facing, and I do welcome comments and feedback for anyone who can give me some assistance. And there's always lessons learned in some of the things we do. Now, those of you who are here or who heard the show 2 weeks ago when John Dubinsky was on, we talked about his breakout session, which is going to be on documentation and the importance of documentation. And I'm just saying, I ran into a situation this week where I had a client who called. Now, this is a client I service. They have a Microsoft account which we service. We change passwords, run the system for them, everything they need. What happened is they ran a lot of things to their Gmail account. I've been pushing for them to get off of this, but they had a lot of things still running through the Gmail account. So I get a call on Monday. Hey, I cannot remember my password for Gmail. So I said, okay, let's try to go through the process of resetting it. We get to the point where we reset it, and they had that Google all-in-one, I think it is. So it kept popping up on their Outlook. So we get to the point where we reset the password. Now, I don't write the password down because, again, I don't need to know their Gmail password. There's nothing in Gmail that, I don't need to know any of their business. So there's nothing in Gmail I need to access. So we changed the password. I said to the client, write down a password and remember to change it. You're going to get prompted to change it on your other devices. So that's fine. That was on Monday. On Tuesday, excuse me, that was on Friday. I apologize. On Monday, I get the phone call. Hey, I can't get into my Gmail. I said, remember, you changed the passwords last week, so just put the new password in. I don't remember what the password is. Yeah. So we go through the process of trying to figure out, I remembered the first part of it, but not the last part of it. So I said, hey, I don't remember. Let's try to reset it again. Now, of course, one of the things that needed to be addressed, and part of this I probably should have addressed, was his verifications in Google. His phone number was correct. They sent him the text message with the key for the phone number, but the email address to reset the password, he had set up the Gmail account that he's trying to get into. Now, the first time this happened, I was able to see it because, we had the Gmail open and it still gave the password because he had it on Outlook. So it still gave the code so we could verify it. Once we changed it, I guess when he went back in, the Gmail locked out again for some reason. I'm not sure why he didn't save the password, but he didn't save the password. So now we cannot verify it with the Gmail account that he's been using. The secondary account he had on there was a Yahoo account, which he said he set up a couple of years ago, and he has no clue where what the password is for the Yahoo account. So essentially now he is locked out of this account, and he's saying that he needs it because a lot of work is in there that he needs to access. So this is a big problem. And honestly, I don't know any way around it. I said, we have to figure out what it is, that password that you gave to basically so that we can get into this account, or we have to know what the Yahoo account password is, which he has no clue what it is. So there's an option on Yahoo when you go to reset that was set to an old Verizon account and an old Comcast account. So it's kind of like going down a dark hole. So we are basically stuck. I am we're in the process now. One of the options, Yahoo gives us the call to see if you can, I guess there's a way to recover the password if you call. I am not sure. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if that is going to work, but we'll try that. Other than that, I'm open to the community. If anyone has any suggestions, I am going to drop this scenario down in the Facebook group just to see if anyone has any ideas. But I pretty much think we're bummed. I think we're screwed, and I feel bad for the guy. But again, I guess I'm going to ask two questions. One, if anyone has any suggestions on how to do it. Two, do you guys think that I should have copied this password for the client? Now, again, this is a Gmail account. I do not manage the Gmail. It is a straight free Gmail account. I have no need to access it for anything. So in my mind, it's not my business what his password is. I don't want to have access to it. So I chose not to write it down. I chose not to remember it. And we are where we are now. So it's just a very interesting scenario. And I honestly don't know which way to go with it. So anybody who's hearing me, drop some comments down, but in the YouTube comments and give me an idea of which direction to go with this, because I really don't. And I also want everyone's opinion. And this is something we will discuss at TechCon, is how do we basically manage something like this? Should we be responsible, or should we make it known to a client that we're not going to be responsible for anything that is really not a business related account or a business related situation? Because this client now is looking at me like, hey, what are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? And I'm like, hey, I don't know what I can do to fix this. I'm going to try. And I've spent a lot of time today goofing around with it. I'm saying, hey, it's really up to you to remember that password that you set so that we can move forward. So again, I welcome any comments that anyone can give. or any suggestions so I can try them out. But I pretty much think we're probably screwed with this. Second, I wanted to talk about something else that's very, very important. It really disturbed me. And honestly, it had nothing to do with it, but it disturbed me. I had I've told some people this story already. I had a client that I started working with in December of 2020. Um, Cleaned up the network for him, offered he had a contract, cleaned up the network for him, cleaned up the machines, everything was running smoothly. By May, he decided, hey, I don't think this is worth it for me. I don't want to do this anymore. So I said, okay, I was a little bummed out, but I was like, okay, hey. So I sent him a spreadsheet, not a spreadsheet, excuse me, the printout from Hoodoo with all of his stuff, with his passwords, with everything. I told him what we were removing. So I explained to him that, hey, you're going to have to get some kind of antivirus to protect your system. You're going to have to get your firewall is there, but you're going to have to get someone to manage it for you to check it. You're going to have to, I would suggest you get some, I said spam filtering for your email. And I said, your backups will back up as of, tonight. And that will be the last backup from us. Now, if you want us to keep it, here's a price for it. You can do that. If not, he said, no, I'll take care of everything. So I gave him everything. I told him, you should definitely get it. I even gave him a recommendation to go and use, but oh God, I can't even think of the name of it now. But I gave him a recommendation of a backup company to go use, and so I said, hey, because you can buy the space from them, manage it yourself. He said, okay, yes, me to death. He just wanted to get out of the contract and move on, which is fine. So this was May of 2021 is when we terminated the service. 2 weeks ago, I get a phone call. He says, hey, I get it from his receptionist actually. And she was like, hey, we have a big problem here. And I'm not going to give his name, but he said, the owner wants to know if you can help us. And I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, something's going on with the computer and we got hacked and now we can't read any of our files. And these guys are asking for $140,000. I'm like, wow. I said, you have insurance though? She goes, yeah, but there's a catch. And I said, what? She said, the insurance company was here. This happened 2 weeks prior. She said, the insurance company was here. They did an investigation and they said they're not going to pay. And I was like, why not? She said, well, I'm not sure, but I think what it is that he didn't have the stuff he said he had. Now, this goes back to when I managed the system, when he applied for cyber insurance, he asked me to fill out the sheet, something that we all go through, we all see. I filled out the sheet based on what he had, explained to him some of the things he had to add. And this was in 2021, not even this year. So it wasn't as bad with what they required, but it was basically EDR backup, a couple other things I can't remember. So, that's what he had in 2021 up until the end of May when we stopped working together. So I guess in his renewal period, he just took the same questions, answered yes, that he had all of these things, paid for his insurance. So when the insurance company comes to, I guess, investigate what's going on, they find out he doesn't have any of the things he said. So essentially they're like, hey, buddy, you're out of here. We're not paying. We're not covering it. So he's screwed. So we go check. The last backup was run on the 21st of May of 2021. And that's all he has. So he's trying to figure out now if he can come up with the money to pay the ransom. But, we do have data on the system to 2021. And I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, when I went there just to take a look, I noticed that the NAS drive that we had in the back that was doing the manual, the on-site backups was disconnected from the network. So it was not even plugged in. I'm not sure when the last time it was connected, but it wasn't connected. So probably a good thing because at least that data was still there. But, again, it's one of those scenarios where I just feel terrible for the client. And it's not, you think about when we talk about things like this and we have these discussions with each other and, we think about, you want to call a client silly or not smart or whatever you want to call them for making these choices, and say, hey, they're gonna get what they deserve. But when I got there and saw what was going on and understood the depths of the situation, all of that good for you or you should have listened to me stuff just left me. It was really it was not an I told you so moment. It was really a wow, I really feel bad and I wish there was something I can do to help. But it really isn't. So it's just one of those things where it's just crazy. So my point to everyone, and what this did for me was it prompted me to make sure that I checked security on all my clients. I'm going through this process now of making sure they have everything, making sure I'm covering all the bases, not only for me and to protect Renactus, but for them and to protect them. So it is just something that I just want to say to everybody, just take a quick look, make sure you are covering all your bases, make sure you are, protecting yourself, but make sure you're protecting your clients. And a lesson for everyone with the cyber insurance is the insurance companies, again, we all had this conversation. They're in flux. They probably took on a product they didn't understand in the beginning, but they're learning, they're adapting. Things are getting harder. So, do yourself a favor, do your client a favor. Do not check any boxes that are not true. If there's something you do not understand about the cyber insurance or the question it with the insurance company to make sure you're being accurate about what you're offering so that you cover yourself and you cover your client. Paco and I think it was the one of the last couple of shows we did together, he talked about an addendum to when you fill out the cyber insurance forms for your clients. It's an addendum of what you do as opposed to what they ask, because sometimes the questions don't line up with what you offer. So just be conscious of that. And I just say to everyone, pay attention to that. Be extremely conscious about what you're doing and what's going on, because that will save your butt in the long run. And again, like with this client now, we're going to, I guess, if he doesn't pay the money, we're going to restore the data from last year, and they're going to have to work basically with missing a year and a couple of months of data. That is going to be a tremendous hit to them, but it's a lesson to all of us about making sure things are right. And, that goes to make not only the insurance portion, but check up, make sure you're covering all the bases, and, check backups. These guys did not have, they don't know why or how it happened, but the NOS drive wasn't even connected to the network. So that probably could have, they should have got backups, could have got the local backups then, but who knows what happened and why it disconnected or why they're not getting it. No one got a notification, no one paid attention. And as long as, for them, as long as everything was working, there was no problem. But, they got banged, and it's sad. And I feel terrible as a person who worked with them. I like to think I had a personal relationship with all my clients. I was not, again, particularly happy at the way things ended. I felt like it was just really an opportunity for them to get their network cleaned up, put a lot of work in to get it where they thought they needed it to be. And then they moved on, which is their choice. That's going to happen. And it's the client's choice. And I'm not going to, argue against the point. It's just, it really kind of made me a little sour in the beginning. But again, going there, seeing what happened and the devastation it caused to his business, it was not an I told you so moment. It was really a wow. I really feel terrible that this happened. So, it's just one of those things where we're like, hey, we have to make sure that we're covering ourselves. And I am, glad that I did not take the lazy way out with this. And I had that email that I sent him showing him all the things that he needed to make sure he took care of. And, so that the onus was on him once I disconnected everything from the system. But it's just one of those things. So again, I'd love to get some feedback on that. If anyone's been in that situation, it's one of those things where I am going to put on I started video blogging. So it is something I'm going to put on my video blog just as a warning to clients and a warning to anyone out there running a business, at the very least, if you don't do anything else, backups, at sometimes will save your butt. So, make sure if you're doing nothing else, you're backing up your systems. But that's it today. I just wanted to give a couple of quick basically notifications that's going out. I don't want to use up too much time tonight on this. Paco and I will be back on Thursday with Resource Thursday, and we will pick up, the next couple of Tuesdays, and then there will not be a show the night before TechCon, the Thursday before TechCon, but we will stay on task. Last week we just had some incredibly different scheduling conflicts, so we could not put out any shows last week. And I do apologize for that. We like to try to stay consistent, keep things going. But with that in mind, I am going to sign off. I do want to thank you for joining me this evening. I will tell you, you can catch us all the time here, MSP Unplugged /YouTube.com, MSP Unplugged Facebook.com/MSP Unplugged. I'm sorry. You can catch us on the LinkedIn page as hashtag MSP Unplugged on LinkedIn. We stream live to all three of those platforms. You can catch us on the go with your podcatcher, Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon Music as well. So again, not a very formal show, just a quick here's what's going on with us. I would appreciate if anyone has any suggestions on the Google situation. Let me know. I kind of think I know what the answer is, but maybe, again, it's like John Dominski says, if I know one thing, is that I don't know everything. So if anyone had any suggestions on how to get out of this situation and get this client his password back so he can get to his work, I would appreciate it. With that, I'm going to sign off, say good evening, and thanks for listening.